Yeah, this is Jimmy Gabriel, Jeremy's dad, better known as Pop Pop, Slappy, all those names. And now tuned in to 101 with Jerm.
Oh man, we're back. Episode 120, 101 with Jerm here on the FOMO Podcast Network. It's my 35th birthday special. So I said, man, why not do something that I haven't done in 120 episodes? So I got the man that created me himself in the building. Big man. The biggest of the big man. Slappy. Giavanna and Savanna know him as Pop Pop. My dad, Jimmy Gabriel, in the building. What's going on, Pop?
It's all good, son.
You all right tonight?
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming through, man, for my birthday special. It was only right. I'm going to 35, so I was like, it's only right that I get my pop to be on the podcast. I've never had him on the show, so this is special for me. This is legendary. So how are you, man?
I'm good, man. A little tired, but I'm good.
Yeah, Pop, my Pop is a hard worker. I think I tell folks all the time, that's where I think I get it from these days is from my Pop, man. He get up at 5:15, pray, read his word, get to work. If the girls are at the house that week, help me get the girls together for school, get them breakfast, get them all coordinated, and he off to work. And then Mondays and Fridays he works another job at the Covenant House, homeless shelter for the youth.
Yeah.
From 4 to 11. So
yeah, 4 to 11. I had to take off a little bit.
Yeah, he took off a little special for me, man. But 4 to 11, and he gets home and does it all over again the next day. And I always tell him, man, sit down, Pop. He don't know how to sit down. Sit down and relax. But he don't know how to do that. And, I wouldn't have it no other way, man. So, without further ado, my dad is here. This is dope for me, man. So, Pop, let the people know a little bit about you, where you're from. My artist, Let him.
In Detroit, Michigan.
It's so cold in the D.
It's cold up there. When I was growing up, it was pretty cold.
Yeah.
We moved to Texas when I was 6 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and came down here with my mother after a situation with my parents when they left. So we moved to Texas and stayed with my grandparents, and it was pretty cool. Small town, USA.
Sherman,
Texas.
Grayson County, the 903.
It was pretty cool.
No, you call it the big S.
Yeah, we got but, we were right next to Dallas.
Right.
We went down to Dallas quite a bit. We had to go there one reason because my sister was always in the hospital having operations. So we went down there to visit her quite a bit. But I wasn't a big fan of Dallas.
Why not, Pop? Too racist for you?
That, and I didn't like, the flow of it.
Uh-huh.
I just never enjoyed the flow of Dallas. But when I came to Houston, though, and after I graduated, high school in 1978, me and my boys, and so I had two of my best friends. They came down here, and so I just 1980, I decided I'm coming to Houston. I finished junior college, so I said, I'm transfer my hours down to UofH.
Right.
And got down here, big city, and enjoy, the city life.
Right.
It's just, because it kind of reminded me of Detroit. I was young when I left Detroit, but it reminded me of Detroit. And so I came down here and just fell in love with the city. And so went to school. I went to
Focus on these gals. Since my brother Michael's in the my big time players on the University of Houston campus.
Well, I wasn't a player.
You ain't got a lot of us, Pop.
But I found one young lady that I really fell in love with, and I was like, me and my buddy Kenny, they lived on the same floor, and so I just went over to Kenny's room one night and I said, "Man, don't talk to that young lady right there."
Mm-hmm.
And Bruce said, "I'll bet you $10 that you don't." I said, "Watch," and he never paid up the bet.
He's still owing money. All right, we're gonna send them goons out on you again, Uncle Kenny.
Well, 42 years later, I'm still with that same woman.
Yeah.
Been blessed to be married for 39 of those 42. And it's cool just to be with that one person, you know, and make a life. And I never thought, you know, after our parents got divorced and, you know, I was like, man, will I ever be successful at marriage?
Mm-hmm.
But I worked at it, and I'm still working at it.
Correct.
You know? And I always tell people when I'm doing marriage counseling, you know, I'm a marriage counselor. And so I tell people, I say, you know, after the honeymoon is over with,
Mm-hmm. That's when the real work.
You know, that's when you got to punch in and go to work. And, you can't just stop. A lot of these young people, they stop and you want to quit. But it's work. You know, if you don't work at it, then you ain't going to get anything out of it. You know, you might get a couple of kids, but, you know, I believe, you know, marriage is a job, it's work, but it's also fun. And I've enjoyed being married to your mother. She's one awesome individual. You know?
Yeah, we always gonna shout out to Mom, the general, the sergeant of the house.
Yeah.
You know, what did you go to college for, and what was, you know, your dreams as a kid that you wanted to be, or, you know, even a teenager or going into college? What did you want to do with your life and want to be growing up?
Well, gee, I was kind of a little hustler. I was trying to hustle. I've been working. I was working before it is. Crying.
Eugene Smile.
That's probably why I still.
Mm-hmm.
But I went to school. I wasn't really for sure what I wanted.
Right.
I just knew I wanted to graduate from college.
Right.
Being the first one in my family to graduate from a 4-year college, you know, it was like I had to prove something. But I got, I guess, off course when I got down here. Kind of lost focus, and oh man, I guess about the second or third year, I asked your mom to marry me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm like, what am I doing? But I knew I wanted to be with that one person.
Mm-hmm.
She was individuals. I got back in school, went to work, and, you know, got married in 1984. 4 years later, we had a son. We weren't even supposed to have you. I just prayed. We took it before the church and asked them to pray for you and pray for your mom. And a couple years later, it was about, you know, first things I said is, "That's some big feet." I told her, "And Lord, look at your feet."
Size 13, Pop.
Yeah, I was like, "She will." I spoke it in, but I just, you know, marriage and, you know, I guess as I went through this process, you know, being married, I was like, man, my wife, she got her degrees, and, you know, she got her master's degree, and I'm like, I'm hustling. But something told me to go back to school because I wanted to be an example for not only you, but anyone else that was looking at me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wanted to be an example. I wanted people to see that, yeah, you can come from a single parent home in shambles.
But
Yeah, it's supposed to turn out. I hustled, I worked, and even when you were, man, I think you and Aaron, I think we were going to school. Your mom was going to school. I was going to school.
Mm-hmm.
You and Aaron was being
at TSU in the parking lot waiting for somebody to come pick us up.
Yeah, we was eating lunch and eating our dinners in the car.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew I was determined to get that degree, and I wanted that degree. I wanted it because I wanted to prove something to me, because I wasn't a great student. I was a hellion. I was always in trouble.
Sound like me.
Yeah. And so that's why I say the fruit don't fall too far. So I was like, man, what can I do? And I was like, going on, but man, then I said, let me try going off to get that degree.
Right.
So I came down to Houston, and it took me a while to get it. You know, I didn't get it till like 1997.
97.
And, but it was, you know, the journey was getting there.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool. You know, I worked. You know, I've always worked, and because I had to feed you. I had to feed your mom. You know, I had to make sure we had a roof over our head. I had to make sure those things was taken care of because that's what a man does.
Right.
And so I said, well, I get that degree because I wanted my grandmother to see, you know, that's my boy. And out of all the people I saw in that auditorium that day was my grandmother.
Right.
And I was like, yeah. And that was one of the main reasons I did it, because I wanted her to smile. I wanted her to say, yeah. My sisters and brothers, you know, older than I am. And they, you know, graduate, but they were successful in doing what they had to do. They both, you know, worked, made earnest, honest living. So can't complain.
Right.
Did some other crazy stuff, but I think the most challenging was prison ministry. You know, I had two brothers that were incarcerated, and I wanted to see what they were going through. And so one of my friends at church said, hey, man, I want you to go to prison with me. I'm like, they ain't go to prison. When I went, it was frightening. The guy said, I got you. Don't worry, you know, those gates are, yeah, I've taken you in there.
Mm-hmm.
You heard those. 20 years. And men, I saw men get jobs. I saw men change their lives. I saw men wanted to be a better person. You know, we put this I guess stigmatized with, you know, all these men will go to prison, they're worthless, they aren't gonna do anything. All they're gonna do is have a messed up life. And it's like, what are you doing? But you know, I digress. But back to you, Jerry.
Now, you gave us a well detailed story about your life and everything like that. So when you had little old me in '88 tomorrow, this past Saturday, what was going through your mind? Life.
But Jerry, I was scared.
Mm-hmm.
But I already told the Lord I wanted to be a better father than what my father was to us.
Mm.
And so I said, well, what's it gonna take? Work. And you challenged me in a whole lot of areas. But I think one of the things I learned from you is, if I just hold my ground, things will change, things will get better. And a lot of things got better. I saw you be successful, doing what you need to do right now. And I remember I didn't touch your mouth for about 2 weeks. It wasn't because I was mad. I was praying because I wanted us to I knew what was told that, you have a son, you have a child, he's going to have some issues when he grow up and, this and that, and I was like, I'm not going to allow Satan to speak over my child. And so I had to pray over your mother and give her the strength that she needed to go through this pregnancy. So we prayed a lot. And I just never forget the night you were born. It was on a Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Friday morning at 9:42.
Mm-hmm.
Never forget the time. But the night before, when she was telling me her water broke, I was actually baking a cake. I told your mom.
Best cakes in the city. How long did y'all have to wait?
I think we had like 25 minutes.
Oh, okay. It wasn't that much.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were on the downside.
And luckily, y'all didn't live too far from the hospital at
No.
the time. Yeah.
And so I said, well, we got to stop at Eckerd's. That's when we had Eckerd's.
Yeah, OG Eckerd.
Yeah. I said, man, we got to stop at Eckerd's. I got to get a camera because I can't have this boy come in this world and I don't have a camera. So we stopped at Eckerd's. I took a couple pictures of your mom before you were delivered. She's like, come on, your mom. Come on, Jim. Let's go. So we moseyed on over to Southwest Memorial Hospital and they put her in a room and I was up. I wanted to cut the umbilical. The room, I was sleeping. The nurse came in, so it was, no, the doctor came in. And he said, got a baby boy. And they asked me, what your name is. I already had your name picked out because Jeremiah, from the Bible. And Eugene is from my grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted you to have a part of him. And so, because he was, at all the men in my life, he was instrumental in a whole lot of things. Hard worker. He was kind of like, I'm like him, getting up 5 o'clock in the morning, going to work, coming home, and like always in our house, whoever gets home first
Cooks
got to
for
cook.
dinner. Mm-hmm.
And so I was always making sure, dinner was cooked. Have that. And that's what I want that he showed us. So several times this is when we needed the green book, when we drove from Michigan to Texas, there wasn't no stopping, because of the way the times we were in.
Exactly.
Back in the 60s. And so we have that thing of chicken. And Granny would cook up some chicken and we have other food, and the car was so big. It was 5 of us with my mom and my grandfather, my grandmother, my uncle, sometimes my other cousin, Herbert P. Nelson. And we'd be all in that car. I was like, goodness gracious. And we used to this curl.
Cobbler.
I wasn't really into eating
No,
cobbler then.
It had to grow on you.
Yeah, that's legendary.
Y'all don't know nothing about that cobbler.
I miss that cobbler.
Rest in peace, Granny. Man, oh man. Now, Pop, what's some of your proudest moments of being my dad that you can think of and look back and smile on and be like, that's my boy?
I have probably 3. I have a lot, but 3. When you graduated from high school, and I was like, that's my boy. When you got your first job, that's my boy. I just never. We town, North Houston. So we got in the car, Mom, and T and Nana.
Mm-hmm.
We got in the car and you called and said, "Oh, Dad, it's so beautiful." You just start crying. When you did that, I just started crying. Your mom says, "Jim, you can't be driving and crying. You might have an accident." I said, "Oh dear," because I had you on the car phone. And I was like, Nana, she was back there crying. But it was just when we got there to the hospital, it was kind of overwhelming because they were in NICU, and I was like, oh man, they hooked up to everything, looking at them. But I just saw the beauty of them, And I remember I looked at Gia, and Gia, her, and I said, what she went through. We call Gwen Rocky because Gwen is our rock, and to me, she's my rock. And so Gia, to me, emulates my sister Gwen and being that rock. She's a tough little character. She's been through quite a bit. But she's
Talks
tough.
a lot, just like Aunt Gwen.
Yeah, talk a lot of smack.
But she's strong.
Yeah.
For a 7-year-old.
Yeah, those are my 3 proudest moments.
Your 3 proudest moments is first job, high school diploma, and how upset were you when I didn't graduate, when I didn't say I was going to finish college, Bob? Were you upset with me?
Every parent wants their kid to do better. That's all I ever wanted. I always told you, I want you to do better than me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I tell G and Savannah. Do better than me.
Mm-hmm.
And because we lose sight. We think, oh, college degree will get me nowhere. But I tell you this much, a college degree has opened up a lot of doors for me. And so I know having that degree helps, especially being a black man in America. It's tough on us.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have to go, always got to go 3, 4 extra steps before our counterparts, because that's the way they treat us. And so what we do with that degree, it can open up doors that's been closed before. But I wanted you to get that degree. But like I always say, schools, and your mama said, school's not for everybody. And I want it, but I can't live through you. I have to let you be your own person. Live through them. And you'll be successful. But I think what you're doing now, your podcast, your concerts, that's what you like. Because one thing I can say about you, you're a people person. You're like me. You don't meet strangers. We talk to people. We don't walk past people. We talk to people, get to know people. As that's that, you know, extroverted person, and so we talk to people, so we get to know people. So that's what I like about you. You are that outgoing, talkative person. Savannah is just like you, outgoing, talkative. Don't meet strangers, so it means a lot.
I always remember when you when you came up, I was maybe fourth grade, Miss Hand. I was a menace back in the day, man. I was.
I'm old school.
That's what the parents need to do. Y'all need to get back there and beat these kids' behinds.
Yeah.
Go to the school and beat these kids' butts. That's why they're getting away with murder these days, basically.
Literally.
Literally.
6-year-old bringing a gun to school, we got issues.
Yeah, too many.
But, I just, that's the way my grandmother treated me. You act a fool, I'm going to address it right where you are.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to wait till you get off. We're going to deal with it right now. But I was afraid of my grandmother. I remember one time the principal said, I'm going to call you grandmother. I said, please, whatever you do not call Willie Mae. Do not call Willie Mae. Because I knew Willie Mae get called, I'm dead.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to put, not that same fear, but I wanted to put some fear in you. And, you call my dad, I got some issues I got to deal with. Because I think we let our kids slide too much. And they get away with too much. And so they just think all through life, I can get away with this. I got away with it as a kid. So, I wouldn't let you slide. I never forget that time. We went to Target and you took that Reese's peanut butter cup. you ran into your room and got underneath the bed. And I'm like, he's up to something. So when I saw you with that Reese's, I said, who paid for that? You didn't have anything to say. You were like, oh, Dad. And then what did I do?
Took me right back to the store, to the manager.
To the manager.
Mm-hmm.
I said, my son got something to tell you. Because I believe, you bring up a child, you don't spare the rod. You gotta let them know. Now, this ain't gonna work. Because that's what we have to do as parents. And most people are afraid to do that now because every law and every person in the world is gonna be in your mix because you spanked your kid. I'd rather spank you now.
Then you face the consequences later.
Yeah, because see, when I go to prison and I'm looking at 300 faces and 75% of those are can tolerate that. And so I'm just, let's deal with it. Let's deal with the issue. So, CPS, they get CPS out your life, get all these acronyms out your life and do what you need to do as a parent. You don't have to kill your child, but you have to put some fear in them and let them know, hey, this ain't gonna be tolerated. So that's what we have to do as parents today.
What's your biggest and proudest moment of being a grandfather to Gia and Savannah?
Man, from day one, I tell them all the time, from day one I saw them, I fell in love with them.
Right.
Because they were just, I saw me. I saw my blood going through their veins. And I saw, wow, another generation, and I wish that my grandmother was here because they were born the day before her and my oldest sister. They were born on the 16th and my grandmother was born on the 17th of February. And so I would love to have them meet her because she was just that kind of person. She would just grab them up and put them in her chest. Oh, baby, that sugar, baby. Those are the moments that I wish, I could have, see that. I know they think they can't do no wrong, but yeah, man, man can push you. You know, G, she's a little slickster. You know, she wants.
She's quiet.
Yeah, she's quiet slickster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Snack queen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we have our moments, but I like to show them things, take them out, do things with them. A couple weeks ago, we had a chance to go see Dance Theater of Harlem, and I want them to go out and experience things that their counterparts may experience. That's why when you were growing up, you know, I would take you on trips. We went to baseball games, we went to All-Star games, we went to
Finals.
finals, yeah, final. Went to NBA finals. Wow. Only thing I think we haven't gone to yet,
Super Bowl.
the Super Bowl.
And that's on our list.
Yeah, tickets keep going up. We ain't going
No,
nowhere.
we're not going nowhere, Pop. Yeah.
But
One day.
one day.
Yeah.
But I wanted you to. It makes African American male a whole lot. The young males don't have that. You know, working at the Covenant House, you know, I work with the males and I talk to them. You know, I don't talk down to them. I talk to them. What do you want? Where are you trying to go? How do you get to this place in your life? You know, you're 18. You know, a lot of them been transitioned out of CPS, and so they don't know. And, you know, they've been abused, and people talk down to them. They don't know what what it feels like to be loved, someone to care. And so I try to show them that somebody do care. You know, even when they try to talk bad to you, you know, they do a lot of profanity. I tell them, I say, you know, when I was growing up, I would never,
In front of no adults.
never, even to this day, no profanity, because you can use better words than that word. And you just try to show them, you know, come on, man. It's more to this than what you see. A lot of young people I see today are just living for the moment. They aren't looking at their future. They aren't going, oh man, I want to be this. Now, you know, I'm a fire marshal. I work for Harris County, and nobody has ever asked me, how do you get your, you know, because I'm about to retire in the next 3 years. So, but just don't understand the opportunities that they have, you know. So,
How do you see me being a father? You know, now that you see me with my twin ladies, how do you see me as a father, Pop?
Gene, you're a good father. You sometimes I always think you're a little bit too hard on them, but that's grandparents, you know. But I know one thing: those two girls love you. They have a great deal of love for you. I see it in their eyes when they look at you. I see it, you know, when you look at them. You know, I saw you at Savannah's recital. How she looked at you like, Daddy, you know, you proud of me? You like, yeah, like I got a picture of that. And I was like, that's what parenting is. You know, you have to be there. You got to be there to encourage. You have to be there to build them up. You have to be there to let them know, hey, if you fail, get back. Be successful. But once you understand that, hey, I got somebody got my back, and you be awesome, man. You're a good father. You're a good father. Yeah. And I can't wait till y'all get on the road like we used to do. You know, we went I don't know how many places we went.
Everywhere, Pop.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
I tried to expose you to those places, and so you can see, you know, hey, I may not want to stay in Houston all my life. I might want to go move to New York. Might want to move to Florida. Might want to move to Mississippi. I didn't think you want to move to Mississippi.
I used to want to move to New York all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
New York's one of the cool cities. That's one of my favorite. That and DC. Those are my two favorite cities to go hang out at. I like history. You know that. And if I can go see history and, I don't care what it was. A lot of people say, you went to Thomas Jefferson's house? Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yes, he was a slave owner. Yes. But the way he built the house was so awesome. And you can look down from the top of the mountain where his house was built, look down into the Virginia University. And you look down and built just basically like his house was. And it's like, wow, this architect who's smart, I liked him. I also went to Fergus Davis' house too. So get the brothers some play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you think I'll ever get married?
I pray you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my prayer. I really do. But you have to find that woman that's going to be the help. Somebody's going to encourage you, build you up. That's one thing I can say about your mother. When I was going through school, she was my biggest encourager, her and my grandmother. And that's what you need. Someone that's going to, hey, I'm working beside you, not against you, not behind you. We're working side by side, and we work as a team. And that's what marriage is all about. One day you might be doing 50, she might be doing 50. One day you might be doing 90, she might be doing 10. Just depends. I look at your mother. Your mother works very hard. She's up all times of night trying to get reports done. And, I try to make sure, like tomorrow, sleep in, because I know she likes to get a good sleep in. So I don't mess with her. I try to be as quiet as a mouse around the house. You heard that rhymed it.
Yeah,
Whoa.
a little rapper.
So,
A little rapper.
yeah. But I try to make sure she's taken care of. And that's what marriage is all about, son. It's a team effort.
You think I'll ever have a son to carry the last name? Would you want me to have one?
Not really. No, it doesn't bother me. I just want you to make sure that Savannah and Giavanna are taken care of. They can,
Nigga take his last name.
Yeah,
Don't tell my baby
I did.
that.
I did. I said, you got to keep this Gabriel thing flowing. I'm proud of this name.
Yeah.
Because I was adopted by my grandparents, or by my grandmother. Because my name used to be Jimmy Mills Jr. And I was proud of that name for a long time. My dad, named me after him. I was his firstborn son. And I was
Proud.
Me and my dad, we did everything together. So when they went separate ways, got their divorce, that crushed me. That crushed me more than anything. And because I always saw us being that family. But we had issues, back in the 60s, men didn't treat their women respectfully. They saw their wives as being a servant instead of a helpmate. And we saw a lot of abuse. And it came to the point she couldn't take it no more. And the sad part about it, 3 years later, she passed away at the age of 31. And she just celebrated her birthday yesterday. She would have been 85 years old on yesterday. And miss her very much.
I know you do. I would have loved to meet her.
Oh, she was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a diva. She was a diva.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, it wasn't. She was just me and her had a great relationship. I made sure she was taken care of, even at the age of 8, 9 years old. I've always been that man of the house. I'm gonna run it, take control, and that's where I've always been. She 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 always coached me, and you can do it, you can do it. And so, but love for you. Had the chance to meet Willie Jean,
Yeah, buddy.
Willie Jean. Yeah, you met Jimmy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
would have loved to meet her.
yeah.
Well, Pop, I wanted to get a quick interview, but I wanted to have you on for my 35th birthday. The man that created me, the reason why I'm here. So, and I'm truly appreciative. I tell you it all the time, how much you mean to me, how much I love you. Old Slappy.
I'm gonna see you, hero.
You'll always be my hero. You always be my.
Yeah,
You know.
it is what it is.
It is what it is, and I love it. I wouldn't trade nothing. I wouldn't trade, my parents for no other parents in the world. I'm truly appreciative. I'm truly blessed. I'm humbled. Appreciative, like I said, for you guys being in my life and what all you do for me, not only for me, but for G and for Van and, letting us, commandeer the residence for the time being and until this work schedule and the big bucks start rolling in and we can get our own spot. But
I enjoy having them around.
Yeah,
because we just do. It's just fun.
Yeah.
It's different from raising you to raising them.
Mm-hmm.
We have this Sam's run.
Mm-hmm.
Home
Your
Depot
Saturday Sam's run. Yeah.
We get pretzels. Pizza.
Mm-hmm.
We just hang together. And I think you need a break sometimes. Your mom need a break. So I just try to, kind of like I did you. Your mom, on Saturdays, you and I would get in the car and our little red putt-putt.
And the hoopty.
Yeah, we be gone.
Mm-hmm.
And then mom, or we get on the bike and we just go ride. It was, I believe in giving your mom that space and so she can kind of
breathe.
It's raising children. I don't see how people have 5 or 6 kids. It's tough. Because some young females are having kids and they don't know how to treat them. I was telling a young lady tonight, why you sitting there using that profanity in front of your son? I said, when you go to school,
you gonna be using that
profanity towards his teacher.
I hate that.
Then you're gonna be wanting to jack him up and jack the teacher up because she corrected it. And I said, but you're doing it right in front of him. So I'm old school.
Yeah.
And sometimes we're still teachers.
That's it. Yes, sir.
Teachers, and that's what you'll learn that with children. You're teaching all the time, teaching. I'm still probably teaching you, sir.
Of course. Yes,
35,
sir.
But I don't mind.
Yeah, I don't mind, and I still love and learning from you and picking up things and tools of the trade and how to keep a house maintained and clean and do all that stuff. So it's fun. It's fun being your son and learning from you and having a hero like you in my life. And I appreciate you every single moment, every single minute. I appreciate our morning phone calls, even though, we're not on the phone for long, just checking in with each other, and, that's probably one of the best parts of my day, just hearing your voice and knowing that I got somebody that's got my back and I can always talk to and depend on, and the girls have somebody they can depend on as well. I appreciate you and Mom, going out of your way when I had to work late and picking up the girls and taking them to ballet, taking them to speech, taking them to gymnastics. It doesn't go unappreciative that y'all do. for being the best man in my life. And I thank you, Pop, so much. Thank you for being on the show. You got any shout outs that you want to give before we get out of here?
Well, to your mom, Cheryl, Jay, that's what I call her, Jay, my main squeeze. Always been there. 39 years of marriage. A lot of people say, you've been married 39 years. Yes, I've been married 39 years, and I've loved every single day of it.
That's right.
Every morning I wake up and I see your mom. It's just refreshing, and that's what marriage should be.
That's it.
Refreshing.
That's it.
It's not back and forth. I don't think you ever witnessed us, beef. You never heard me curse your mom. You never seen me punch your mom or anything. I love my wife.
Yeah.
We just have a great relationship. That's what marriage should be.
That's it.
That's what it should be. And the best part about it, Christ is in the center.
That's all. That's it. And that's all. I'm about to have you on, Pop. We didn't even talk about, you're a pastor as well. You touched briefly on the prison ministry, so I'll have you back on for part 2, man. I appreciate it, man. Y'all make some noise for my dad. Clap for him on YouTube, in your car. As Coop says, the biggest of the big men. I appreciate my dad stopping in for my 35th birthday special, episode 120. As always, man, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Go check out the FOMO Podcast Network. They have dope podcasts on there. We got some more things cooking with them. Make sure you follow me everywhere, one-on-one with Jerm, except for Twitter. It's WTH. Everywhere else, one-on-one with Jerm. Follow me. Interview. westboys@gmail.com. That's the number 2, WESSBOYZ. When I say like, comment, and subscribe, follow me everywhere. Do I have anything else? Thank you. 35. Thank you, Lord, for letting me see 35 years of life. And as always, man, before I get out of here, don't forget to pray, smile, and stay blessed. And blessings will manifest, man. To episode 121. We gone. Peace.
Did I do all right, Mike?
Oh, man. You did perfect, Pop. Thank you.
Welcome.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Now I gotta hurry up and get this uploaded. I gotta go check in before 12 a.m. It was well worth every minute.
Check in. Oh.
Hey, I'm gonna get a picture. This is uploading. Oh.